The U.S. airline industry has returned to turbulent times as a rise in new infections stalls its recovery.
It does give me anxiety because I was just on the seat with 3 people and I was like really tight.
The July 4th Independence Day weekend was the busiest since the pandemic began, but passenger numbers have since dropped off. Now, United is cutting 36,000 jobs, nearly half its U.S. staff, and others could soon follow.
The airline industry is doing badly. Traffic is way off. They've been able to maintain service in the U.S. via the government bailout that allowed them to keep people on the payroll, but that's going away. I don't think Delta and American can afford not to do the same thing.
Airlines are trying to combat coronavirus fears by requiring masks, as American Airlines reminded Senator Ted Cruz after this picture appeared on Twitter. He says he took it off to drink his coffee, as is allowed. Delta and others are leaving middle seats empty, though United and American are not. This senator wants to make the empty middle seat mandatory. Between each Delta flight, the entire cabin is sprayed with disinfectant and wiped top to bottom. But your safety could depend on the passenger in the next seat.
Certainly, we can't do all the physical distancing we'd want to on an airplane. So, there's no such thing as zero risk.
In Europe and elsewhere, a drop in COVID-19 cases has airlines slowly recovering. But in the U.S., the industry's decline has reflected the rising arc of the virus.
The airline industry's woes reverberate throughout the economy. The European plane maker Airbus plans to shrink. And here in Chicago, Boeing, which was already having trouble with a recall of its 737 MAX plane, sold only 20 planes from April to June. That compares with 149 in the previous second quarter, making it the company's worst quarter since 1963.
Industry analysts say the key to recovery is persuading passengers they're safe.
The solution is for people to be convinced that they're not going to get a dread disease and therefore have a higher chance than normal of dying prematurely.
With no vaccine expected before 2021, getting all these planes back in the air could take years. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Chicago.